Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Mark Janish, Access Media Global's From the Bench Sports Podcast World Cup Recap, day number 6. And what a day it was of what you would term some upsets, an issue with some refereeing mistakes, potentially giving Senegal a win. Today, we're going to review that here in just a moment. Wanted to go ahead and just give you a review of the scores. Right now, we're going to go to Japan-Colombia. Japan-Colombia was characterized in the third minute with a Carlos Sanchez red card. Now, this is a situation that for those of us who did not see the play, I actually was awake to see about 25 minutes into the first half, so want to be fair about that. But on the replay, it's still not necessarily clear to me why Carlos Sanchez got a red card. I think it was for a handball. Juan Quintero scored in the 39th minute for Colombia, and Shinji Kagawa scored in the 6th minute on that penalty kick. The interesting thing on this, as far as stoppage time, just want to give you that, is that the red card came in the 3rd minute versus Carlos Sanchez, but the penalty kick for Shinji Kagawa didn't come until the 6th minute. The problem here was that Japan did not get the benefit of the stoppage time. Neither team did, actually, at the end of the first half. Yawa Osako scored in the 73rd minute to seal the win for Japan. What this actually did was throw Group H into some level of, I wouldn't say chaos, but I will say the teams that you would expect to come out of Group H probably won't now. We had a win. I'm going to go over some statistics for you here. Just a quick summary. Carlos Sanchez was dismissed for that handball, and Japan won the penalty from which Shinji Kagawa gave them the lead. So that's the recap of the handball that I just mentioned. Colombia, 42%. Percentage of possession, Japan 58%, 8 shots on goal for Colombia, 14 for the Japanese squad. The Land of the Rising Sun committed 9 fouls as opposed to 15 for Colombia. 1 yellow card was given for Japan, 2 to Colombia. That could play a role as the red card did for Mr. Sanchez. In the continuing group stages, which will continue. 2 offsides for Colombia, 1 for Japan, 3 corner kicks for Colombia, 6 for Japan, 4 saves for Colombia, and 2 for the Japanese squad. 4-2-3-1 for Colombia, 4-2-3-1 also for Japan. So congratulations to the Japanese squad getting a much-needed 3 points, but once again, throwing Group H into some level of disarray, I guess you would say, because in some of the other games that we have here, just a moment, I'm going to go back to today's action. We had Poland and Senegal in Group H. Now, this game, to me, came down to, I would say, one of 2 scenarios is definitely plausible. One, the referee failed to stop the game or slow the game down in making an injury substitution for Senegal, which cost them the game in the 60th minute. If you did not see the video, you need to see the video because the referee gave Nia, who scored the go-ahead goal for Senegal, which I'll get to in a moment, permission to go onto the field during the game. It wasn't like it was a stoppage of play. The squad for Poland, which definitely probably was favored in this game to the point that they needed to be. They did what you would call a back tap in the United States parlance of sports, when you tap the ball back, but this ball was kicked back to them, and the referee gave the signal to Nia of Senegal to go back onto the field because the Polish team forgot, just was not aware that they were in position to substitute for a previously injured player. So for whatever reason, there was a brain drain. They got very spacey, did not remember that injured player was needed to be accounted for. So what Nia did during the back kick, Nia runs to the field with the permission of the FIFA referee. He raised his hand. Nia goes and he runs onto the field. He's running onto the field as the back tap ball comes to him, and he outruns the Polish defender to the goal for a game-winning goal against Poland. Poland should be disappointed because they did not remember, they did not prepare for this eventuality. I'm going to get to more details in a moment. I just wanted to let you know, generally, one of the things regarding the World Cup, I love the World Cup. I'm glad that the world is happy. It's one of the rare times, especially in this day and age, when you see people from around the world enjoying themselves under the hand of the beautiful game of soccer. But in this case, always, there are questionable calls by FIFA. Now, I'm happy that the video-assisted referee is available for close calls here. At this particular point, I'm going to go to the stats on the game. We're going to talk about it a little bit here. Mbaye Niang scored in the 60th minute. Now, it's worth noting that Thiago Sionek of Poland contributed to the chaos by allowing or being a participant in a 37th minute own goal. And Grzegorz Krychowiak scored in the 86th minute for Poland, but once again, it was not enough. We want to let you know about this controversial goal. Senegal defeated Group H favorite Poland 2-1 at the World Cup on Tuesday, thanks to an own goal and the controversial second strike, which I did mention. You need to see the tape of this. It's going to be a difficult thing for Poland to come back from, especially as they get into deeper Group H games. The match statistics dominated by Poland. The percentage of time of possession in which Poland handled the ball down the field, 59 to 41% over Senegal. I look at shots on goal, 10 for Poland, 8 for Senegal, 15 fouls for Senegal, 8 for Poland, 1 yellow card for Poland, 2 for Senegal. No red cards were issued by the referees in this case. 3 offsides each for each team, 3 corners for each team, and 3 saves for Senegal, 1 for Poland. The alignments were 4-4-2 for Senegal and 4-2-3-1 for Poland. So at this particular point in time, I just want to let you know this was a controversial goal. If you got a chance to see the tape, you want to see this on any highlight packages that your television, whoever is providing you World Cup coverage. For us in the United States, it's Fox Sports 1 and and the Fox affiliate network station. So check for that. I want to let you know this game came down to Poland not getting it done as far as that goes. The situation is such that as we go to the summary here, Senegal became the first African team to win a match at the 2018 World Cup today when they beat Poland 2-1, helped by two shocking errors in the European side's defense. Poland defender Thiago Sionek stuck out a leg and deflected Idrissa Gueye's wayward shot into the net in the 37th minute before goalkeeper Wojciech Szczęsny rushed recklessly out of his area and allowed Mbaye Niang to nip in and score into an empty net on the hour. Niang was having treatment on the touchline and re-entered the pitch. This is where the 60th minute goal gets a little bit murky, but I'm going to go ahead and just share this with you. This is the recap of the game. He re-entered the pitch as the ball was played backwards, as I mentioned, to the Poland goalkeeper. Okay, so the back tap happens, the back kick happens, and the Poland goalkeeper headed Poland's goal in the 86th minute. The win put Senegal at the top of Group H with 3 points, along with Japan, who also beat Colombia by the same score. Colombia and Poland are both without a point. And Egypt, Morocco, Nigeria, and Tunisia all lost their opening games. So good for the representation of the Senegalese in the sense that they represented Africa with the win today. At this particular point, I'm going to go to the third game. Liverpool FC representative Mohamed Saleh. He actually played today. Wasn't necessarily, what I would say would be like a great game for him, although he did have a penalty kick that he made. So let's go and get you the Russian Egypt details. The home-standing Russians were not expected to do too much in this World Cup, despite the fact that they had the advantage of the home crowd and otherwise. But they scored 5 goals against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Game 1. So in the second game of the Group A pool, it would be worth noting for them that this is the first time since 1986 that the Russian United Soviet Socialist Republic, back in the days of 1986 and glasnost with Mikhail Gorbachev, have made the run in the World Cup. It looks to me like the Russians have sealed themselves with 6 points now and a goal differential. This is a key to remember. Anybody that qualifies for the final 16 knockout round, they are going to have to win the goal differential battle. With those 5 goals against the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, plus the 3 today versus Egypt, it does appear that Russia has a good stranglehold on Group A. Unless something strange, really strange, continues to happen, we're going to see this happen. Now, Denis Cheryshev scored in the 59th minute. Ahmed Fatih was contributing to the Russian cause with an own goal. So that's not necessarily good for Egypt, who's 0-2 now. And then, of course, Mohamed Salah, the striker, performer for Liverpool FC with 44 goals this year and 16 assists, 32 in the English Premier League. He actually had a penalty kick win, a penalty kick goal, during this particular game. We're going to go ahead and give you um, some match statistics. Egypt, a dominated time of possession, ironically, 54% to 46% time of possession. They outshot the Russian home squad 13-11. Fouls were in favor of Russia 11-10. One yellow card for each team. Red cards, none. Offsides, none. 7 corner kicks for Russia and 4 for Egypt. 1 save for Egypt, none for the Russian squad. The alignments were 4-2-3-1 for Russia and 4-2-3-1 also for Egypt. But once again, Mohamed Salah, who did not play in Game 1 versus Group Game 1 during Group Game 1 over Uruguay, which Egypt did play well, but they did lose 1-0. It looks like the Egyptians will be going home, trying again in 4 years in Qatar. Okay, 2022, the World Cup will be in Qatar, and hopefully we'll be able to continue giving you all the World Cup insight that you need right here at accessmediaglobal.com. Once again, you're listening to the From the Bench Sports Podcast. This podcast and any other episode of the From the Bench Sports Podcast is available on Libsyn and Stitcher Radio. I want to thank those of you listening around the world between France, Switzerland, Kenya, the United States, the United Kingdom, Germany. Want to welcome you. This is a independent sports site. I am the founder. I am the proprietor. I am the progenitor, if you will. I do this for the love of the games, the love of sports, and for you. I watch the games, so you don't have to. But hopefully, we'll be able to give you some insight as to why chaos and chaotic stuff like Group H games with referees determining when players can re-enter the pitch happen. I also wanted to let you know that in addition, the World Soccer Talk podcast will be available along with this podcast. They will also do in-depth analysis, better than I probably could, but I want you to have the best. So at this particular point, I want you to be aware that we're going to have those things here for you. We want to do a good job, but I think for the purposes of programming and things of this nature, we want you to have the best. So we're going to add World Soccer Podcast. Day number 6 is going to be available very soon here. I'm about 19 minutes into this podcast. I want to thank you for listening. We're going to do day number 7. I wanted to also give you just a little preview of tomorrow's games. Now, just for you in the United States, the games start early here on the west coast of the United States where I'm located, just outside Santa Barbara, California. So that means a 4:30 to 5 a.m. wake-up call. Matter of fact, I think today I was available at 23 minutes past 5 o'clock, 25 minutes into the Colombia-Senegal disaster for Colombia. I'm not saying it was a disaster for Senegal because a win is a win, but at the same time, I missed the red card. That's just because I needed to get the sleep out of my eyes. But that's what we're doing on the west coast of the United States with a 10-hour time difference. Well, we have to do what we have to do. Now, for tomorrow, what we have to do is revisit Group B, Portugal and Morocco on Fox Sports 1, 5 a.m. Pacific time. Check your local listings in the United States in the Central and Eastern time zones. But Portugal, they need a win. Morocco, of course, giving up an own goal to Iran in game number 1. Not a good thing for the Moroccans. I had Morocco, France, and Germany doing well. Unfortunately, Germany let me down on game one versus Mexico. As I've said before, I believe Mexico is overrated. Mexico is similar to the Dallas Cowboys, a perennially losing team, very popular team. But when called upon, it seems like Team Mexico just cannot get it done. But speaking of getting it done tomorrow, 5 a.m. Pacific time, Portugal, Morocco. And then that's Group B, B as in boy. Group A games, Uruguay and the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on your local Fox affiliate at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Uruguay needing a victory to stay alive in Group A play. Saudi Arabia also needs a victory. They also need a lot of goals because, as I mentioned earlier, the Russians, the homestanding Russians, put 5 on them. And goal differential is the first tiebreaker to see who determines to see who goes to the round of 16 knockout stages. So lots of goals need to be scored by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Iran, they're at the top of this group. They're going to be playing Spain. So we want to go ahead and urge you to watch Iran and Spain. The leaders, or one of the leaders of Group B, they're going to be playing at 11 a.m. Check your local Fox affiliates in the United States for reviews of that game. This is going to wrap up day number 6 of the 2018 FIFA World Cup. In Espanol, it's El Copa Mundial de FIFA. The World Cup 2018 Day 6 wrap-up from AccessMediaGlobal.com. I'm your host, Mark Janish. You can get a hold of me at Mark Access Media on Twitter, or you can always go to the Contact Me page at AccessMediaGlobal.com. Enjoy the World Cup, everyone. We'll be back with a post-match update tomorrow. Have a great day, everyone, and happy World Cup. For now, I'm Mark Janish, wishing you a great day wherever you're listening to this podcast, in whatever nation. And just remember, the beautiful game will always be beautiful because sports is a unifier, and we want to bring people together as best as we can. And what better way to do that than the sports field? Have a good evening, everyone. Have a great day for June the 19th, 2018. I'm Mark Janish. Once again, this has been the From the Bench podcast. Keep listening on Libsyn, Stitcher, and AccessMediaGlobal.com. Have a good evening, everyone.